Well, welcome everyone to another episode of Burn and Learn, a new podcast sponsored by Stogie Hub, a new company that I'm launching and creating. So happy to be here. We're coming to you this evening from downtown Leesburg, Rebellion Cigar Room. So we certainly want to thank Justin and James for the opportunity to continue to use this venue in order to share our podcast. So we're super excited about that. And so with that, again, my name is Steve, co-creator of the Burn and Learn podcast, the creator and developer for Stogie Hub. And so that's my background. Chris, do you want to give a quick intro?
Yeah, hey, my name's Chris. I'm the co-host for Burn and Learn. Just helping out Steve with the website, doing software testing. That's my day job. So, yeah.
Perfect. And again, we're happy to be here downtown Leesburg at Rebellion Cigar Room. Our special guest today is Justin, who is the general manager for Rebellion. I'll let Justin give an introduction on his background, and we're going to then light up a stick. And then we'd love to ask Justin a few questions around Rebellion, his thoughts on the restaurant, some of the bourbon selection they had here, which is top notch. And then talk about the cigar room. So with that, Justin, thanks for joining us. We're very happy that you can make it this evening.
Thanks for having me, Steve. My name's Justin Perroots. I'm the general manager here at Rebellion Bourbon Bar and Kitchen in downtown Leesburg. I've been in restaurants for over 20 years now. I've been general managing them for about 15. I was really thrilled at the opportunity to come on board here in Leesburg and with Rebellion. And it's been a great experience so far. I've really met a lot of great people and enjoyed my time here so far.
Gotcha. Perfect. Well, again, our podcast would not be a podcast if we didn't spend a few minutes talking about a great cigar, maybe sharing with folks the cigars that we've selected and maybe why we selected those cigars. So with that, I've got a Rare Pink, again, limited edition. Super excited to try this out. So that's what I have for this evening. Chris, what do you have?
Oh, it's a Cuban Monte Cristo number 2.
Okay, awesome. Justin, what do you have there?
No, so that's the one I gave him. It's a SP 1014 Red.
Okay.
It's a boutique manufacturer out of New Jersey. Guy's name is Sanj Patel.
Okay.
It's a pretty good stick.
So is that like a medium or
Yeah, I think
what's the profile?
probably medium.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then how would you describe you said that's a Monte Cristo Cuban?
Yeah, I would say this is like a probably medium.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. When you think about the Rare Pink, the Arturo Fuente.
I like that a lot. I think I smoked the one you gave me a while back, and I thought that was an excellent cigar.
But more of a medium, right?
Yeah, I think it's a medium. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and cut and light. I think as I've mentioned on earlier podcasts, for me, I'm just as excited about the accessories and the ritual of cutting and lighting as I am about the cigar itself. So for me, the accessories I have tonight, I've got a Brizard V cut, compliments of Chris, and again I've got my DuPont Legrand, right? So those kind of what I've selected, and I'm just going to go ahead and get this a V cut here.
Can I see that?
Yeah.
And I typically use a straight cut about 95% of the time. But whenever I'm smoking a torpedo or like a cigar with a taper head, I prefer to do a V cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'll be using a DuPont Line 2. This is actually a DuPont that's made for Davidoff.
Okay.
It's a vintage, probably about 20 years old, but it's got the nice thing and the little dual plane.
Gotcha. And then Justin, for you, you prefer a V or a punch?
I'm a straight.
Straight. Perfect. Let's see. Do we have an extra lighter for? Oh, you found one right now. Perfect. So we're just gonna go ahead and light it.
But Justin, how often do you smoke cigars?
I'm getting into it more and more.
now that I'm here and have access to this great room. Before I was probably monthly. I'd join a couple guys in my neighborhood about once a month and meet up and have a cigar. Golf time, when I'm playing golf, I tend to have one with my golfing buddies. So I'd say I'm fairly regular, but not a enthusiast.
Uh, I was, thinking about that, and you every GM for a restaurant that I know spends more time at that restaurant than almost anywhere else, right? That is true. And so, kudos to you guys for doing that, because you provide a great service and great experience. But I, I don't know what would happen if I actually worked in a cigar lounge or had access to. I don't know what would happen if I could smoke while I'm working. I guess is what I'm saying, right? Like, the
Benefits of the job, I guess.
yeah, that's awesome. So I'm just gonna go ahead and you guys, what are you thinking so far?
This is
on
really good.
on your Cuban?
Yeah, just getting notes of like kind of milk chocolate on the retrohale. Do you retrohale at all? Wow.
You know my experience with retro, man. Like, I'm not a fan. I have done it a couple of times. I think my technique is evolving, right? When you think about that, you shared your perspective on technique, and that didn't go so well the first couple of times. But since I've tried it, and I think it's evolving. So not quite there yet, but working towards it.
And Justin, hey, in case you don't know, retrohaling is when you obviously with cigars you don't want to inhale it, but what you can do is you can uh, kind of force it out through your nose. How's that? And I've seen cigarette smokers do this a lot too, actually. Uh, and you get like a lot more flavor from it too. So I don't know if you know how to do that at all, but bro,
But you have to be prepared for like it takes some practice, and the first couple of times, like, it's not comfortable at all, right? Like, it is not comfortable, but again, evolving. But I do agree, and a couple of times that I have done it, you do get additional notes. You do feel, you get a more full perspective on the flavor. And so, I continue to try, and my experiences evolve from that perspective. So again, kind of evolve. So, again, we're happy to be here. I'm excited. You know, I think Chris and I were here. What, Justin? Right before Christmas. Yeah. As a member here at Rebellion, I have an opportunity to take part in all of the great events that you host. And I think it was an event probably 5 or 6 weeks ago where we were standing on the other side of the cigar room where we had this idea of using this venue as our location for our new podcast, right? So literally, as I'm developing that idea and that concept, you walk by, and without me even thinking much about it, I hit you up on the idea and the concept, and so we had a conversation, a discussion, and again, super happy and excited that you were receptive, and you jumped in and leaned into whatever we needed to make this happen. So we want to make certain that we are giving you props for that and shouting you out for that. So absolutely love and appreciate all the support.
Thank you, thank you. We appreciate you guys deciding to do it here. We love the exposure and the publicity, and I think it's a good thing for both of us.
Yeah, yeah. Again, appreciate that a lot. But what I really want to spend some time on is like just sharing the Rebellion story, right? Like, I have been a member here for a little over a year, and I spend a lot of time on here, literally in this room, like with good friends and associates, just having conversations over a great cigar. And I have to admit, there are very few venues where you can get a drink, eat, and smoke a cigar. So when you think about combining all of that here at Rebellion, just a bang up opportunity for people to take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's what kind of makes us really unique. Members are allowed to bring in their own cigars. We have a small selection here as well. but we also have a great selection of bourbon and excellent food to go with it. Like you said, it's a, combination of a lot of good things all brought to one place.
Yeah, and I do like it. I mean, if for folks that aren't familiar with the area, we're sitting right in downtown Leesburg, in what is essentially an historic building in Old Town or downtown Leesburg, right? And so when you think about this building, this venue, the first floor is a bar with seating for dinner and meals, as well as a small stage for live music. That's just the first floor. The second floor, additional space and capacity for restaurant and meals.
Little more formal dining
A
atmosphere.
bit more formal on the second floor. And then back in the corner on the second floor, there is a hidden door with speakeasy concept, right? For people to enter the staircase up to the third floor, which is where we are, which is the Rebellion Cigar Room, right? So when you think about that again, very unique, something that's not common, right? So I know I've had opportunities to sit right here and have there's a bar right up here, have a drink. Again, bourbon selection has always been top notch. I've had Stad, Elmer Teely, you name it. I've had bourbons that are impossible to find here, so certainly appreciate that. But also a very good meal, while at the same time having a cigar. And I can think in my cigar smoking years, maybe one other or maybe two other places where you can combine the beverage with the meal and cigar, right? So I think, this location is super unique, but super valuable for folks that enjoy that type of atmosphere. So when you think about that, what's the vision, or where do you want to grow and evolve? Not only Rebellion as a restaurant, but Rebellion Cigar-y as the speakeasy cigar lounge.
I mean, ideally, we'd really love to grow this to, where we have a much fuller capacity up here, and doing more events and more member events and tastings, and we've even talked about doing some wine tastings, so we're not just offering just the bourbons. We like to venture into doing some wine pairings and maybe some dinner wine pairings, and even throw in a cigar with that as well. The brand, there's a second Rebellion in Fredericksburg as well. So, the Rebellion brand is growing. I know there's plans to hopefully open another one in the near future.
Okay.
That one, they would like to offer a cigar lounge in that one, as well as the one here has it, but not the one in Fredericksburg. So that makes us really unique. We are the only Rebellion with the cigar lounge in it.
Yeah, no, I do. One of the things that's a real upside for me as it relates to the membership is, I can, my wife and I can come here together. She is not a smoker. She does not like the cigar smoke. So we can come here for brunch, have brunch on the first floor. She'll stay downstairs. Maybe one of her friends comes over and they have a glass or two of wine downstairs. And while they're downstairs, I'll cut away up here for 45 to an hour and have a cigar, right? I finish my cigar, I go downstairs, she's finished with her glass or two of wine. And it gives us an opportunity to go out together, but do different things in the same venue. And that's, to me, the value in the membership.
And I have several people like yourself. They'll come in with their wives or significant others, have dinner, lunch. Wife will go shopping in Leesburg, because there's a lot of nice shops in downtown Leesburg. And the husband will come up here and have a cigar, watch football, watch a game on the TV, and enjoy his bourbon. And when she's done, she'll come up and get him or give him a call, and they can meet up. And like you say, it's nice to be able to do stuff together, but still have your individual time. I know myself and my wife do a lot of that, the same way. She'll leave me at a place, and we'll go together and have dinner, and I'll stay and have another drink or two and sample some bourbons, and she likes to go shop.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I mean, how do you? One of the things that I've really enjoyed are the events, right? The event that I really recall was the one with the folks that the last horse soldier. This is a horse soldier, right? Absolutely,
Whiskey and War Stories.
Yeah, the Whiskey and War Stories. So again, that was a really cool bourbon tasting, but we also spend some time, and again, this was amazing. We also spent some time hearing stories from one of the founders of that bourbon. He was on one of the early teams as an Army Ranger, I believe, a Green Beret, going into Afghanistan shortly after 9/11. So just listening to his stories around what that looked like in the days and weeks after 9/11, our armed forces initial response to 9/11, and him being on the team that, the early team into Afghanistan, those stories were just amazing. And then coupled that with their introduction of their bourbon, we did a tasting. All of their selection was incredible. Just a great event, and because of that, I always look forward to the events here.
Yeah, we've done several good events. There was a Rabbit Hole event where we had the guys from Rabbit Hole, and we paired it with the cigars that were aged in one of the bourbon barrels. That was a really good event for us as well. I believe you were here for that one. We have another event tomorrow. The guys from Ironclad down in Newport News are coming up. Okay. So they're going to be here and doing that event with some of their stuff that they're introducing into Virginia. That'll be available in the ABC stores around here shortly.
Okay. Yep. Will there be a cigar pairing with that, or is it just
No, that's just going to be the bourbon. We're just doing the bourbon tasting for that one. So, but that's going to be, a free event for the members. So there's no charge, some of the events we do at a small fee just to cover food and cigars and stuff like that. But generally we try to, give something back to the members and do, some complimentary events and, make sure we're trying to take care of them and while they're here.
Yep. No, we again always look forward to the events. The events notice on the dates is always super helpful. I block those off, and if I'm in town, certainly I don't miss an event. Looking forward to the event tomorrow. So yeah, one of the things I've always been curious about, right? Thoughts or questions around folks that are here for a meal once they know that there's a lounge upstairs. Do they ever have questions around the lounge itself, the cigar smoking, and how that may or may not impact their dining experience? Any questions or conversations around that?
They do. A lot of people are really intrigued by it. I think a lot of people think it's just open. It's an open area. That's one of the big misconceptions. It is a members only, lounge. And a lot of people just like to see it. They think it's a really great space, and we actually have signed up a couple new members recently. So hopefully they'll be here for the upcoming event. You guys will get to meet some of the newer members.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of questions, a lot of, everyone loves the space, and no one ever notices that the smoke. It's done really well. We've got all the proper equipment up here, so it filters it all out, and what little bit does trickle into the downstairs, it kind of gives it that nice atmosphere, to go along with the bourbon and everything here. So
I was gonna say, you guys have probably one of the best smoke eaters I've ever experienced in terms of I've been to a couple different lounges and it's just terrible, where it's just cloud of smoke, and it's just not working very well. But it's very excellent setup back here.
Yeah, we have a really good setup. We're probably one of the best. I've been in several places as well, and this is one of the best ones that I've ever been around.
You mentioned about trying to kind of expand the cigar room and kind of getting it more noticed. Have you ever thought about doing public events where for one night, probably open it up, have to this kind of to the public, and just kind of have that come in, smoke a cigar, we have them order food and drinks, and just kind of get exposure that way at all? Or
we have, and I think that's something we're going to start doing with some of the events. We're going to open them up to members and the public, just so we can get a little bit more exposure, not only for the reps that are coming here to showcase their bourbons, but just to help showcase this space. And I think we're going to start opening up some of the events to the public as well.
Yeah, I think the one thing that's really helpful, especially here, is the opportunity for members to bring guests, right? I've had folks come with me, right? That's me, more curious than anything. But by the time they hit the stairs and get to the top,
for like, what do I need to do, right? Like, where do I sign up? Like, how do I join, right? And so I think we've had some folks join, and if you can have people come and check out the venue, I think the space and the atmosphere and the ambiance essentially sells itself. You just have to have people to give it a try, and so I think that's a true testament to what has been built here at Rebellion. And again, I'm super excited. I had heard about the place for shortly after it opened, but I was more curious than anything, which what brought me into it one day. And again, as soon as I got to the top of the stairs, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do, right? And so I think I work with James, and I think I probably joined that night, right? So one of the things that's really cool is, especially here, that as aficionados you'll appreciate, is the technology involved, right? The door to the lounge up here, speakeasy style. So Bluetooth on your phone opens the door, you'll walk right in. But what's really helpful for me with a busy schedule is being able to use the app to reserve space, right? Like if I know I'm coming and I'm bringing a group of 3 additional folks, knowing that I can go, well, we can advance and set aside the exact space where we're going to be sitting and reserve it and have that, not only on my calendar, but certainly you have the reservation system as well, so that you can adequately staff, a bartender up here has been, super valuable, and has been a true testament to the offering that you have here.
Yeah, and that helps with a lot of other members as well. They like to see, who's here, and a lot of the guys get along really well together, and they'll tend to come when other people are here. So, they're here to talk about, the cigars and the bourbon, and, have light conversations. And that app's really great for, booking the space as well as finding out who's going to be here.
Yep. Yeah, no, I think that's good. I think recently, I think Sarah may have created a WhatsApp group for members. So we also have a perspective, like for tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's event, there's a lot of traffic on the WhatsApp. Who's going? Who are they bringing? So I think it builds that community, and it also gives you an opportunity to better understand how many folks you can look to expect.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's a community. The bourbon drinkers, the cigar smokers, especially in this area, it's a community. It's a group of people that have like interest and enjoy the space, and that's what it's all about. Just networking with people with like interest.
Yeah.
It's always nice.
I think what else is neat is you guys are open pretty late too, because a lot of the other places where you can smoke cigars or just like dedicated lounges only, they close at like 8 or 9 o'clock. And you guys close at midnight most nights, or?
Yeah, typically during the week it's around 11, but Friday, Saturday, we're here till midnight. We're here till midnight, and if we have a big enough event or a big enough group, we can stay open even later. So, I've had events, and we've done some things where we've stayed open until 1.
And I like that. I mean, again, to Chris's point, there are other places to smoke in the area, and irrespective of where you are in your cigar, 6, 7, 8 o'clock rolls around, they're starting to turn the lights up, they're cleaning out the ashtrays, and basically that's like, your signal to, wrap it up and go, right? And so to know that if I'm finishing dinner at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, I've got a 1.5 to 2 hour window to really sit back and enjoy a cigar after dinner. Super valuable, right? So I think, as you think about expanding membership and bringing new members in, I mean, I think that really is the value in the offering that you have. So that's kind of where you put your emphasis, I would be.
Random question: how old is this building?
This building is 233 years old.
Holy crap! It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. It has 230 years.
I noticed it's really nice, and like the temperature is really nice, and it looks like, is there any insulation here? Sorry, it's just I've always wondered, now that I've been in here a few times, like, how do you guys keep this space like so nice and warm or whatnot?
I mean, we have its own, heating and air conditioning unit up here, so it's climate controlled up here as well. But there is some insulation up there to help, hold it in. But we have a very good HVAC system up here that, help move the air and keep the smoke filtering towards the smoke heaters we have, but also keep the temperature nice and comfortable.
Well, cool. We're gonna go ahead and wrap. So as we wrap up, Justin, again, we want to again say thank you for providing the vineyard. Thank you for your flexibility. And we're just thankful that we have an opportunity to do what we love to do in a welcoming environment like this. So again, thank you for providing that for us. Thank you for joining as a guest. We look forward to having you on in later episodes. So I think that would be awesome. And with that, we'll wrap. Any parting words, Chris, before we wrap up? Nope. Awesome. Well, appreciate it. We look forward to spending time with everyone on the next episode. Until then, we'll see you next time.